Alright, look, so this is how you change the oil. 24 horsepower Briggs and Stratton V-twin. Alright, so look. First, you got this thing clamped up here. So you're going to want to unclamp it and take off your cap, okay? Get your oil pan right below it. And then you're going to kind of position this down. It'll drain to your oil pan, and you might make a mess. Just know. Alright. Just going to kind of angle it down here. I'll get back to you once it drains. I don't know how it's going to go for you, but mine is taking forever to drain. I know that mine was low, but still. Alright, so it's almost done draining now. And I'll show you the next step once this gets done, which it is almost done, I think. Alright, and so then, once you're done, okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take my dipstick, take the cap, sit right here. So I'm going to take my thing right here, put the cap back on, and get that tight. And this goes right on. This goes right here. Just clips on. You pull it up. Alright, and then you made a mess right here, which I'm sure you did, because I did too. Just wipe it down because you're right next to a hot muffler, and you don't want to catch your machine on fire. Alright, so now you're going to kind of move your oil pan over to this side. Alright. Well, you're going to try. And just do. Let's see if I was going to set you up. Right there. Alright, so look, I'm going to put a rag. Oh, sorry. I don't have a tripod. Gonna kind of slide a rag underneath the oil filter so that way it don't drip oil all over my hydros. And this should apply to a lot of Briggs and Stratton engines. I know that a lot of them are the same. Alright. You're gonna get down here. Let me sit you down while I try to turn this. Alright, so now then I got my oil filter loose, okay? I'm going to kind of lightly unscrew this because oil is going to kind of go everywhere. Yep. As you can see. Now let me set you down so that I don't spill this everywhere. I'm going to take my oil filter. I like to just kind of set it in my oil pan because, you're not going to use it. And that way, it doesn't drip everywhere and it doesn't make a mess, really. Alright, so now, what I'm going to do is you take a little bit of old oil. Okay, hold on. Put a little bit of old oil on your finger and then just kind of lubricate your seal, okay? You're not filling up the filter, you're just lubricating your seal. Alright, so let's get this on. This says no more than hand tight, so that's where I'm going to put it. Alright, so right here. Now I got oily hands, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use these. Just that way I know that it's a good seal. Get as tight as I can. Alright, so I forgot to do this on this, but I'm sure it's fine. You always want to check your old filter to make sure that the seal is still on it, which this one is. And this really applies for cars, because if you run off and don't notice it, then you're going to be dealing with a blown motor, you know. Especially on, like I said, cars, mowers, it doesn't really matter, you know. Alright. So on this, I'm putting in, hold on. Dang. Putting in 2 quarts of Valvoline high mileage, because this has over 500 hours. Alright, pop the cap on this. Google said this holds 2 quarts, so I'm going to hold it to them. Dump her on in. Make sure that as you pour in that you don't have any oil leaks. Don't see any down there or around here, so I think we're good. And to be safe, I like to check my oil level before I put in my second quart. Okay. So then, we're at the add mark, which is perfect, because I do need to add. Oh, we're another quart. There it is. I'm just kind of blind. Just get all out of there if we can. Alright, and we are about perfect. I don't know if you can see that. We're about perfect on there. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire up the motor, let it run for just a second, and then we're going to check it again. Hold on, there's still some in this jug. I got this mower for $50. I think I made a video about it. Alright then. Fire this up real quick. Check this oil again. Alright then, and we are perfect right on the dot. Well, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll get back to you on the next video.